Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up harm.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Six with Ian and Thomas.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming back.
This is primarily about the World Cup, and the first thing that I have to say about the World Cup is if this is my bracket.
Agreed.
Like,
I don't have words for what's going on in the World Cup right now. It's insane.
A tournament of upsets.
Yeah.
I mean,
all over the place.
Every single game is, it's either, the team that you expect is going to get absolutely demolished by, 2 or 3 goals, is able to, keep it up, tied the entire game or tie right at the end. Yeah. Or, I mean, even some games like Poland-Senegal, I completely expected Poland to run right through Senegal. Yeah. And Senegal looked at Poland and said, "Who do you think you are?"
Well, I mean, the biggest one was one that might hurt your feelings a little bit. I know you're a big Leo Messi fan, but when I saw the score of the Argentina-Croatia match, I was absolutely floored. I mean, it was 2-0 in the 88th minute, and then next time I saw it was full time. It was 3-0. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, you have got to be kidding me. There was no way anybody anywhere expected to see that except somebody from Croatia. Yeah. I mean, I could not believe it.
As of recording this, we are halfway through the group stage. We're through the second round, halfway through that for group. So we're finished Group D. The next couple games are going to be even more interesting. Right now, game of the tournament for me, because I haven't watched every single one. It's so much to keep up with. I've got them all recorded, and I plan on watching them. But the game of the tournament for me is Tunisia-England.
Really?
That game was just... I was almost freaked out by how well Tunisia played. I mean, they held England pretty well. And, I don't understand, a team like England should be able to run through a team like Tunisia. And they didn't. Tunisia was absolutely
the funniest
fantastic.
The funniest part about that whole thing is when we did our pre-World Cup recording a week ago, I jokingly mentioned that Tunisia was going to run through and win everything. I still don't think that's going to happen. I mean, they're third in their group right now, but still, just the fact that we make some jokes about Tunisia winning everything and then they play as well as they have been, and Iceland is still shocking people. And I think it's amazing. I'm really enjoying that. We've got a good friend of ours that's actually who she's got winning the whole thing. I mean, her bracket says Iceland is going to be the champion. And I don't have a lot of doubts that that's possible. Where are they at? They are...
They should be
They're second in their group.
They're second in Group D right now.
Yeah. So, in Group D... Argentina is basically going home. So you got Croatia in first and Iceland with a game in hand in second place. They've only played one match.
It has been, and I said it was ridiculous earlier, and it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. What's going on? But it's so much fun to watch.
Absolutely.
It is so much fun.
Every time you turn around, you're like, wait, what? What happened? And with the Spain-Portugal match, I firmly believe Spain should have won that match. I think it was
Cristiano Ronaldo had other ideas.
Well, I understand that. I think it's amazing, but I think Spain was the better team. And the fact that that C-Ron came through with the hat trick. And saved the point for his team. It was absolutely amazing. And then, with Portugal, with their next match, I mean, they were definitely not the better team, even though, again, Cristiano Ronaldo had other ideas, and, he scored an amazing goal.
That's the one part of my bracket that was going right. I had Cristiano Ronaldo winning Golden Boot, and 180 minutes, he's got 4 goals.
Right.
The only person to score for Portugal so far this World Cup, by the way.
Right. Yeah. And none of them were slouch goals. I mean, that's the thing. But I mean, it just with their next match that they had against Morocco. I mean, Morocco was by far the better team. I'm sorry. I mean, I watched that match live, and I thought for sure Morocco was going to tear Portugal apart. Rui Patricio is, because of that match, he's my Golden Glove winner right now. I mean, he kept Portugal in that match because Morocco was attacking. They did not sit back like I think everybody thought they were going to. I mean, they went straight after Portugal, and it was good football. I mean, this was stuff off the training ground. It was just well put together football from Morocco. And every time they got into the final third, they put something together. And I thought for sure that was it. I was like, this is it. This is the one. This is the one. And unfortunately, they never got to finish one. Again, Rui Patricio was amazing.
Figure out these stats on how many saves he had.
I don't know, but it was a boatload.
Morocco only had 4 shots on target. And 4 saves.
Yeah, well, I mean, there you go.
I mean, if it's any accommodation, I mean, Portugal only had 2 on target. They scored. Obviously, they scored 1. So I mean, that's the crazy thing about this sport is, I mean, you don't have to be the better team on paper. I mean, you don't have to have the better players. You just got to be smart enough to play tactically.
Right.
And be able to outplay the other team.
Yeah, so, and Morocco did that. I mean, the only stat that at the end of the game really mattered was the 1-0 scoreline for Portugal.
Exactly.
But, I mean, and like I said, I watched the game, and in my mind, Morocco won that match, other than the fact that they just didn't score a goal.
Speaking of 1-0, I think you know what game I'm talking about. Current reigning champions against Mexico.
Exactly.
What happened?
I don't know. I mean, was Germany, did they go into it, overconfident? Did they underestimate Mexico? And we're Germany. Everybody's rooting for Germany. We're Germany. And nobody can stop us. And Mexico, like you said before, had other ideas. I mean, that's another result that just it floored me. And at the end of the match, you see Javier Hernandez, was walking off the pitch with tears in his eyes. He was, I mean, that's how much that goal meant to him. And he only had an assist on it. But the coolest thing about that was they said when that goal was scored, with all of the people around the country watching the match on television, actually measured on the Richter scale. There was so much jumping up and down going on in the country of Mexico that they literally registered as an earthquake.
Crazy.
That's huge. I mean, are you kidding me? You had enough people jumping up and down that some geologist or whatever said, oh my God, hey boss, there's an earthquake that's covering the entire country. That's incredible to me. So, I mean, that's how much that goal meant to them. And, I mean, listen, the rest of the world was standing still. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously. I mean, I guarantee you people people sitting at, watching the thing at Checkpoint Charlie were going, what just happened? That doesn't happen to us.
Yeah.
And, again, the phrase of the day is Mexico had other ideas, But yeah,
Now, where does that? Because I know we both had Germany winning the cup on our brackets that are obviously useless now. Where does
yeah,
that? I mean, does that change anything? Do you still think Germany will be able to pull back?
man. They're. I mean, I got to tell you, they're on the cusp right now. I mean, they may not make it through the group stage.
Mm.
You know, so yeah, I think that changes some stuff. You know,
Personally,
can Germany pull it out? Sure, they have the capability, they have the
mhm.
ability, they have the talent, and they have the players to be able to pull this off. You know, can they? I mean, that remains to be seen. You know, for the sake of my bracket, I hope they do.
Personally, if I obviously the brackets that I submitted into the all the official games, I can't change. Um, but right now, from what I've seen so far, if I had to pick a winner from that, it would probably be Belgium.
Yeah,
They had a
yeah, because
very
Belgium's rolling right now.
very strong opening match against Panama, 3-0 win, 2 goals from Big Rom. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just as long as they can keep the steamroller going, they have a very strong team, and they play very well together.
yeah.
You know, I right now I think they're the best team in this cup because that was one of the few games that the result actually came out like everybody expected it to.
Right, right. Well, I mean,
I
you
mean,
know,
it just
with the squad like Belgium's got, I mean,
hmm
it was going to be tough to root against them, you know,
yeah,
or you know, not root against them, but you know, to lay odds that they weren't going to come out on top. You know, you got guys like Aiden Hazard, you got Romelu Lukaku, you know, Kevin De
I mean
Bruyne.
that goal by Dries Martins was
Uh,
just beautiful. I mean
it was,
that one time volley. I mean, just keeper had
yeah,
no
it was
chance.
a screamer. I mean, for sure, that quite possibly a contender for goal of the tournament.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, for sure.
I think
See, I'm trying to see there.
Ciron's third goal in the Spain game is up there too.
That was pretty good.
I mean
That
that
was pretty
that
good.
curling free kick, just
Yeah,
I
that
mean it was
was.
just beautiful.
Let's
See,
see.
coming up the next couple games. See, today when this video goes up, there will be three more. There will have been 3 more games played.
Yeah.
Brazil,
Nigeria,
Costa Rica,
Iceland. Yeah.
and then Serbia, Switzerland. So we'll obviously in about a week we'll be back next Friday, to post another video about what's going on again. Just kind of I know it's kind of middle of the video. I wanted to kind of shout out something. For those of you who kind of find it a little difficult to kind of watch a whole 30-minute video, we understand it's a decent portion of your day when you're super busy. Um, we have just introduced on Google Play Music and iTunes podcasts, Inside the Six. So, you can check those out, download those, subscribe to them. It really helps us out. I
And
hope it
those
helps you
are
guys out.
audio only. So I
Yeah,
mean, you
those
just
you just pop your headphones in and listen while you're working or something like that.
do it.
Um,
Do it now.
well, I
Right
mean,
now.
there's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude. I'm just
Yeah.
do it now. Please, sir. Okay, enough weirdness.
This World Cup has just been oh,
It's been
I
a lot of
saw
fun. I mean,
a
I'm
piece of
really
news.
enjoying it.
I'm gonna steal Ian's happy corner for this episode.
Okay.
I saw a piece of information tweeted by Sergio Ramos after the Spain-Iran game, which Spain won 1-0. And it was that in Iran, for the first time, women were allowed in the stadium, the national stadium, to watch the match. I mean, that's obviously politically that is a huge step forward
Yeah.
in the equality movement there in Iran. Basically allowing women in public places where they've never been allowed
Right.
for a long period of time. Moving forward, obviously that's going to help the sport grow. That's going to help the country grow. And I mean that obviously that's what we want.
I hope so.
You know, as a unified world, I mean we want everybody to be equal, to be able to watch the best sport in the world.
Oh,
Together.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. I mean, just the fact that, you know, I mean, why would you intentionally, cut off half of your fan base? No, you can't come in. Nope. Wrong plumbing. You got to stay outside. Yeah, I mean, that makes no sense to me. So yeah, it's very cool. And you said Sergio Ramos tweeted something.
yeah, he tweeted the news article that he had found.
Oh,
I mean, and that's where I
cool.
that's where I found it.
Cool.
Moving forward, do you see any surprises? Finishing up the group stage.
All of them. Except Belgium.
Short answer.
I mean, because so far everything's been a surprise except for the Belgium match, and the Spain Portugal match wasn't so much of a surprise as it was just a really exciting match.
It was a fantastic match.
Yeah, anytime you get a match that's got 6 goals, I mean that's what you want. Everybody
with stars like that.
Yeah. People who don't understand and love this game the way we do, always pick on like, oh, if I wanted to watch somebody struggle to score for 90 minutes, I'd take my friends to the bar, But to see 6 goals, I mean, even for us, I mean that's really exciting. But sometimes a 1-0 match is really exciting. I had the Sweden match the other day. I mean, there were so many fouls. They said they had 40-something fouls throughout the match. I forget how many yellow cards. There was only 1 goal, and it was a penalty, which was garbage.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was a 1-0 match. It wasn't all that exciting. It was a really hard watch because of so many fouls. There was just no flow. There was no motion to the game. But then, there's other matches where it's a 1-0 win. You're like, holy cow, I'm pouring sweat. I mean, I need a Valium to come down from that.
The Denmark-Peru match.
Yes.
That was a fantastic match.
So, a 3-3 draw, Spain-Portugal, yeah, very exciting match. What does that mean for the rest of the groups? It's all up in the air right now, man. I mean, yeah, anything can happen, and I think that's what a lot of people, sorry about that, don't really realize when it comes to football is, you don't have to be, a lot of times it is, the bigger, better teams, come out on top over and over and over. And that's true. You got teams like, you talk about like Premier League, you got Manchester City, who has a boatload of loot, and they can go and they can buy players that, Southampton just cannot afford. So, if you put Southampton up against Manchester City, it's pretty easy money to say that Manchester City is going to come out on top. But there's still that chance that Southampton, gets their crap together enough and puts City back on their heels. And that can happen especially, on this level. With this world-class level.
International football is it's a lot more unpredictable.
Right.
I mean, obviously you've got the heavy-hitting teams, but I mean they're not always playing together like they are with their club team.
Right.
So they don't have the chemistry. They don't have as much chemistry as they do with their club team.
Right.
And obviously, that changes mindsets. That changes games clearly.
And speaking
right
of
now,
changing the game, I mean, look at the Belgium squad. Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, I watched that match, and he was sitting really deep. I mean, he's normally one of the first cats to get forward, but with just the tactics that are being employed on the Belgium team, he's sitting back a little farther. I mean, he was almost right in front of the back 4. I mean, he's still doing Kevin De Bruyne stuff, but yeah,
exactly.
It changes
that's
tactics.
That's what makes him a great player. Is he's versatile. Yeah. I mean, you can put that man anywhere on the pitch and he'll perform.
I believe that.
Excluding maybe goalkeeper. Maybe.
You never know.
I haven't seen him.
He
play
might
goalkeeper.
He might be an amazing keeper. I don't know.
See, right now, biggest surprise of the tournament that wasn't a game for me is Russia.
Which one?
Russia.
The 5-0 beating of
Both.
Saudi
I
Arabia?
mean,
Oh, okay.
just I mean the way that they're playing. I mean, they are,
Yeah.
coming through and absolutely destroying teams. They're up 7 goals right now in goal differential.
Wow.
They're at +7. I mean, a 5-0 win and a 3-1 win. That is unheard of in group stage play.
We are Russia. We will not lose.
I mean,
we crush you like bug.
that was the first bracket busting team for me. Right out the gate, my bracket was done. And it just because
and it got worse from there.
It did. I mean, I had Russia being third in the group. Little did I know that again they had other plans.
Yeah.
I mean, Russia obviously came to play. I mean, they are. It's so much fun, to see teams enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the Russia-Egypt match the other day, and I mean, they would miss a shot that was clearly like a whiff, and they would turn around and be smiling at their teammates.
Sure.
I mean, that's
and I've
that's
seen
how
that
the game-
in more than one team. Other teams. Some of the matches I'm watching, they're like, good for them, man. Good for them. I mean, they're playing. There's a lot of pressure. I mean, I have never in my life played in a match anywhere close to the level these guys are playing. And it just I cannot fathom the amount of pressure that is on some of these people, on some of these players, to perform their very best. And then, to make a mistake, not even really a mistake, just miss a shot or whatever, and turn around and say, okay, let's try that again.
Exactly.
I think that's amazing. I mean, because, that relieves some of the stress. And that's one of the things that, as a player myself, that I'm really striving to do better at is no matter what. I mean, the soccer team I play on, I love the team I play with. We're an over 30, co-ed 7v7 team, and we're terrible. I think we have 1 win in 2 seasons. But at the end of the match, you cannot tell we just lost 11-3. We're all having fun, and that's one of the things that, like I said, I'm really striving to better myself at. That's all I want to do. I just want to go out there. I want to get some touches on the ball. I want to take some chances. I want to take some shots, and I want to have fun.
I remember,
and it's coming through in my game. I'm more relaxed. And that may be the tactic that some of these guys are employing. Like, hey, listen, I'm just going to giggle at myself when I screw that up, because it's going to help me relax, and I'll do better next time. And that's a great tactic, Yeah.
I remember my last season playing club ball was by far the worst season score-wise I'd ever played.
Well, that was a tough season for you guys, though. I mean,
but
you usually played down 2 or 3 men.
But that was still by far the most fun I've ever had playing soccer. Because the guys that I played with, I mean, that's what they did. They'd miss a shot and they'd giggle, high five each other on the way back.
Yeah.
I mean,
way to give that a shot, man.
The best game that we had, we lost 2-0. That was the best score that we had all season. I mean, there were certain games that we were down 5-0. And I'm a goalkeeper, and I was making 10 to 12 saves a game.
Yeah.
But that's what I enjoyed. I enjoy making saves. I know they're gonna get past me sometimes, and like you said, when we're down a man or two, it's hard. It is extremely hard. I mean, to keep up that morale, and I mean, as a team, we did that fantastic.
I think so. I mean, it seemed like you guys, I mean, you just wanted to have fun. Everybody just wanted to play soccer. You got to wear a Hammerheads uniform, and play some footy, with your buddies. And yeah, it was hard to travel, 2-3 hours to a match and find out that you only got 8 players. So now you're down, you're down 3 and you have no subs. and to still have fun doing that. That's exactly what it's all about for me. I mean, of course, I'm not Lionel Messi sitting on an airplane going back to Argentina right now without a World Cup.
That's true.
And I cannot imagine, what's going through his mind right now.
Well, I think that was the problem, moving kind of back towards the World Cup, is the problem with Argentina and Messi in particular is he had just way too much pressure on him.
Yeah, I agree.
There was just, I mean, the AFA was just putting more and more and more weight on his shoulders. I mean, he's
Sure.
one man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the Argentinian goalkeeper. He's not the Argentinian defense. He's not the midfield. He's one forward.
Yeah, he's a striker, and he's one of the best. I mean, if not the best.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, and I mean, this World Cup doesn't change anything. He's still by far one of the best
True.
players to have ever graced the pitch. It's just it's hard, it's hard to see a man like that, who works so hard day in day out for this sport, not get something that he's been working for.
And it's the only trophy he's missing,
Yep.
And this, I would say with very little doubt that this was his last chance to win that trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he'd be hard pressed, in 4 years to come around. Now, I mean, I'm not discounting it. I'm not saying there's absolutely no chance that Leo Messi is going to be on the Argentina squad in 4 years. I think it's doubtful. It's just, the birthdays are going to catch up, I mean, look at me, I mean, caught me.
To kind of start closing off the episode, I've got one more question for you.
Okay.
How do you think the VAR system has been used in this World Cup so far?
Flawlessly.
I agree. There have been a lot of penalties that have been called by it and a lot of differing score lines that have been caused by it. But I think it has been used, to quote you, flawlessly.
I think it's being used exactly as it was intended to be used. It's not making every single call. It's making only the calls where, Dr. Joe Macknick, who is, he's on the Fox Sports commentary teams, where, I guess they get him on the phone to help watch matches and stuff like that, where he gives them, some kind of commentary and some guidance on, how the referees should be doing things. And the way he stated it was that there has to be a clear and obvious error before VAR will be employed. And what I'm seeing watching these matches and the times that it's been used, and it's not being overused. I don't think it's being overused at all.
No.
I think what they're doing is they're sticking to that game plan where there's a clear and obvious error, where somebody in the VAR booth is going, hey, center referee, you might want to take a look at that. And he'll stop play and he goes over and he looks at the monitor and he watches the angles and things like that. And then he makes a decision from there. And that's how VAR is meant to be used. It's to correct a clear and obvious error, not be the referee instead.
Exactly. And I will say, from what I've seen, I haven't seen a single call that is standard. They've all been, reversed.
Interesting.
He won't call a penalty, and he'll go to the VAR and change it.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't noticed that, but yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
I haven't seen a single one that has not been changed.
Interesting. Well, see, and again, that adds to my my argument that it's being flawlessly employed, because at that point now you have a clear and obvious error. It's been reviewed, and the referee hey, I made a clear and obvious error. It's now a penalty. Or I call it a penalty, and it's not a penalty. Goal line technology, nobody had any problems at all with goal line technology. With them wearing the wristband that vibrated when the ball crossed the line. And I don't know of anybody who's really up in arms over VAR. I mean, I don't hear anybody going, "Oh my God, I wish they'd get rid of this crap. It's garbage."
Well, and that's the thing,
I haven't heard that, and I think that's good. I think the players are enjoying it.
Are using it. They understand. Okay, he went to the VAR and he saw exactly what happened. We understand. We caused that penalty. I mean,
Right.
that's on us. I mean,
Right.
there hasn't been much outcry, for changing a call like last minute. It's not happening.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been hearing any of those things, even from fans. I'm not hearing anybody go VAR's crap. I don't hear the players saying, "Oh, VAR's crap." I'm not going to hear referees say, "Oh, VAR's crap." I mean, that's just it's an extra man, because now you got with international, with FIFA, you got the center ref, you got the two ARs on the sidelines, and then you have the end line, and now you have VAR and a fourth official.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, listen, you're well covered. I mean, that's more officials than NFL. And NFL, as we all know, is crap. But in my opinion, and it's not a humble one. Anyway, but no, I'm enjoying the VAR. I think it's cleaning the game a little bit. And
It's getting
I
closer
think
to a 100% accurate call rate.
Yeah, which is what it's what we want. We want the game to flow. We want the game to be accurately called, and I think it's working. That's what I'll say about VAR.
I think
well done.
We have hit our time.
I do have one little happy corner. And it's really not much. But I saw a little snippet the other night that Kylian Mbappe is now the youngest ever French player to score a World Cup goal. He's 19 years, 183 days, I think, when he scored the goal. Which makes him the youngest French player by about 6 months.
He is currently the second youngest player in the tournament.
Yes.
Second only to one of the Australian players. There's an Australian player that came on late in their match against France. So.
Yeah, and I just thought that was cool. I mean that's a pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, you're not even old enough to buy beer yet, and you're scoring World Cup goals. Way to go, Kylian Mbappe.
It's France. I mean, do you really
they
need to be...
probably handed him a beer the minute he graduated from high school.
That's true.
Actually, it was a glass of wine and some latte. But,
I think with that, I will hand it over to you for the closing statements.
All right. Yeah, that's all I have too. We just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, this is season 2 of Inside the Six with Ian and Thomas. We really appreciate it, you guys. We're having fun doing this. This is something we do for our enjoyment, but we want you to enjoy it as well. Please subscribe. Please leave comments for us. Follow the links in the bios to the t-shirt shop, to the sticker shop. And definitely a big, huge shout out to our boy Macrophonic MC, who has graciously allowed us to use his music for our intro and outro. We want to thank Owen Spice, who at one time was our producer and editor. He's given Thomas a little bit of technical advice to kind of beef things up a little bit and spruce them up a little bit, maybe spice them up a little bit. See what I did there? And big shout out to Thomas, who's been doing the editing and the producing and getting everything online for you guys to enjoy. Again, don't forget to check out the audio-only podcasts on iTunes and Google Play. So check those out if you don't have time to watch it. And again, we'll be here next week. And we'll talk about some more World Cup action. Transfer window for Premier League and international stuff is all heating up, so we'll talk about maybe a little bit of that stuff too. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks, guys.
Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up hard.